Hey folks, today I'm going to be playing with a light you can find on Amazon called Sofirn HS22. It's a headlamp. Let's see what it can do. Welcome to another Water Trek 360. Today we'll review the HS22 head-mounted light from Sofirn. Do check out my previous videos on other underwater lights. Full disclosure, Sofirn sent me this light to review after I had done a review of their new SD08 RGB light. As always, I do not represent any company I may review, nor any other manufacturer I may reference. These opinions are my own. Sofirn had no input into this review. I do these reviews so you can make an informed choice before spending any money. If you like these reviews, click like, click subscribe. So let's look at the HS22 head-mounted light from Sofirn. First, there was some confusion on my part. I agreed to do this review because I thought it was a dive light. It wasn't until after my testing I realized the error. But I agreed to do a review, so I am. I apologize to my normal viewers, but hang in there. The results may surprise you. It's a compact light with a water rating of IP66. It's only 3 1/4 inches long, 2 1/4 inches high, and 1 1/4 inches wide. With strap, only weighs 5.5 ounces. The body cavity has a side opening with a single O-ring and a Type-C charger slot in the back. It uses one 18650 battery with 4000 mAh. Per Sofirn, the light has overheat protection, reducing brightness when the temperature reaches 55 degrees Celsius or 131 degrees Fahrenheit, and reverse polarity protection. The HS22 has two lights, the spotlight, roughly 15 to 20 degrees, and a flood beam well over 90. It has two buttons, one for mode, one for brightness. Press either to turn it on, then press and hold the mode button to scroll from spot to wide angle to combo mode with both lights on. Press and hold the brightness button to scroll through eco, low, and high. Double press to enter turbo, double press again to go back to moonlight or eco. The HS22's Kelvin depends on the setting. It can range from 2700 K to 4500 up to 6500 on turbo, with a range of lumen from 5 to 50, 200, 600, and 2500. There is no SOS or strobe. The HS22 has a remaining battery power indicator on the switches. It's green when over 75%, flashing green at 50 to 75, red 25 to 50, and finally flashing red when under 25. Now, these only stay on for 5 seconds after you turn the light on. It doesn't stay on during operation until reaching low battery status with the flashing red. As for accessories, mine came in a box with the head strap, spare O-rings, the one 18650 battery, Type-C cable, and a manual. So now let's look at my control tests. Runtime. Literature claims the HS22 in combo mode can last 110 minutes on turbo, 390 minutes on high, 8 hours on medium, 45 hours on low, and a whopping 400 hours on eco. In my test on turbo, in combo mode, it ran for 1 hour and 53 minutes, then the lights dimmed and went to flashing red. I'm assuming the light auto reset to a lower lumen, but in total stayed on for just under 10 hours. On high, in combo mode, it ran for 2 hours and 13 minutes, then dimmed with flashing red, but stayed on for just over 11 hours. I didn't test the other settings, but I'll assume that they are consistent with literature. Charging time. The HS22 charging time for fully depleted battery is about 4 hours using the charging port and their cable. Shows red while charging and green when fully charged. Using my quick charger, a fully depleted battery recharged in only 2 hours and 20 minutes. Topside. I live in an area with a fair amount of light pollution. I tried to find the darkest place I could to test. Lower lumen settings like eco mode at 5 lumen, even 50, especially in flood mode only, were pretty dim with diminished navigational use. Those modes are really only for emergency situations anyway, say you get stuck in a remote area. With 400 plus hours, 16 days or so, of battery, you at least have some light when needed. The spot beam was tight and easily visible, especially on turbo. Dislikes. There's really only one thing I didn't like. The cadence and process to use the light is a bit cumbersome. When you need an operational flowchart to learn how to use the light, you've overcomplicated a little bit. Takes some getting used to, since the manual is a bit confusing and slightly out of sync with other literature. So what did I like? Since I thought this was a dive light initially, I actually tested it underwater, not only in the pool, but in open water at a depth of 20 feet. For a light that's not supposed to be a dive light, it spent almost 3 hours underwater. That was pretty impressive. Please don't do this yourself and invalidate your warranty. It clearly states in the manual not to expose it to water for prolonged periods of time. I clearly got lucky. I also like the bezel mount. You can control the angle of the beam pretty easily. Also, while the Kelvin is not really important to me, it is an interesting feature. The charge time to runtime ratio was pretty good. Lastly, it's lightweight and easy to wear. So who is it for? This is a solid light for campers, hikers. While it's not a dive light per se, the fact that it survived my open water testing at depth indicates kayakers, canoers, even snorkelers could use this with modest risk. Just make sure the Type-C port cover is firmly secured. For the price, $46 at the moment, I give it a thumbs up. Check out Sofirn's online links and let me know what you think. As always, I am interested in hearing feedback. Well, hope you found this informative. And as always, my friends, stay safe in your dive adventures. And remember, go explore, get wet,